Have you ever stopped to ponder the true significance of Memorial Day? It's a day marked on our calendars, often associated with parades, family gatherings, and a long weekend. But is that all there is to it? Or does it hold a deeper, more profound meaning that's woven into the tapestry of our history? A meaning that resonates with the echoes of countless brave souls who've given their all in the line of duty. Let's delve into the depths of history to understand its profound significance. Memorial Day, as we know it today, has roots stretching back to the Civil War era. In the aftermath of the war that tore the nation apart, a day was needed to honor the countless lives lost, a day to remember and to heal. This day was originally known as Decoration Day. Decoration Day emerged in the late 1860s when communities began organizing tributes to the fallen soldiers by decorating their graves with flowers and flags. The tradition was initially not a unified national event, but rather a series of local observances. Towns, cities, and rural communities all had their own ways of honoring their fallen heroes. In the spring of 1868, General John A. Logan, the leader of an organization for Northern Civil War veterans, called for a nationwide day of remembrance. He chose the 30th of May as it was a date not associated with any particular battle. On that first Decoration Day, General James Garfield made a speech at Arlington National Cemetery, where 5,000 participants decorated the graves of 20,000 Union soldiers. However, it wasn't until after World War I that the day was expanded to honor those who have died in all American wars. In 1971, Memorial Day was declared a national holiday by an act of Congress, which also moved it to the last Monday in May to ensure a 3-day weekend. This move has been met with some criticism over the years, as some believe it detracts from the solemnity of the day. But regardless of the exact date or location of its origins, one thing is certain: Memorial Day was born out of the Civil War and a desire to honor our dead. It was a response to the unprecedented carnage of a war that claimed the lives of more than 600,000 soldiers. From these humble beginnings grew a day of nationwide remembrance, a day to honor the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country, a day when we, as a united nation, paused to remember not just the cost of war, but the price of freedom. Change is the only constant, and Memorial Day was no exception to this rule. As we journey through time, we find that Memorial Day, like many other aspects of our society, went through significant transformations. From its informal beginnings in the aftermath of the Civil War, it was not until more than a century later, in 1971 to be precise, that Memorial Day was officially recognized as a federal holiday. This change came as a result of the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, a move made to provide workers with more 3-day weekends. This act, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1968, shifted the observance of Memorial Day from its traditional date of May 30th to the last Monday in May. A shift that was initially met with controversy, as many felt that the importance of the day was being overlooked in favor of creating a long weekend. However, over time, this change was accepted and became a part of our national calendar. But the evolution of Memorial Day was not confined to its date alone. The way in which it was observed also saw significant changes. In the early years, the day was marked by somber ceremonies and quiet reflection, as communities came together to remember those who had given their lives in service to their country. Over time, these observances expanded to include parades, concerts, and even sporting events. These changes reflected a shift in societal attitudes towards Memorial Day, from a day of mourning to a day of celebration and remembrance. However, despite these changes, the core essence of Memorial Day has remained the same. It is a day to honor and remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their country. It is a day to reflect on the freedoms we enjoy and the cost at which they come. It is a day to remember that freedom is not free, but paid for with the lives of those brave enough to defend it. As the day evolved, so did its significance. Memorial Day is more than just a long weekend or the unofficial start to summer. It is a day steeped in solemnity, a day that echoes with the silent cadence of honor and remembrance. It is a day when we,